See him a beast when he hear that sound like yeah, beat on the beat when he hear that sound like woo. Yeah, bitch on the champ, only me one round like yeah, me, I'm a G-Ring.
All right, folks, joined today by the CFFC, that is Cage Fury, middleweight champion, the one and only Mr. Highlight Reel, Donovan Beard. Don, my man, we haven't talked in a couple months. You're supposed to be fighting this weekend. The fight is off. Sorry to hear. How are you feeling about that?
I'm cool. A little disappointed about the outcome and really wanted to get in there and get my wins back under me so I could get back where I was. And I appreciate the thought of you having me on here, and it's good to see you again after so many months. And shoot, we're going to get back in there. I'm just waiting for some more offers to be lined up, and whenever that happens, shit, we'll get it cracking.
Yes, sir. So, I mean, dude, you're supposed to fight Dylan O'Sullivan this weekend. The fight is off, as I mentioned. What happened? He pulled out, from my understanding?
Yeah, he pulled out. I was fine. Training camp was going good. I even had I had to work through an injury myself on my lower back and got over that, visiting the chiropractor and getting massages and stuff, and I'm just good to go. And then I found out on my birthday that he pulled out, and I'm just like, well, so much for that. Then they found me another guy. They found me another guy that same day, and they was waiting on me to sign the contract. So I signed it, of course. And then they tell me I signed it the next day on the 6th. Then they told me that same day that he pulled out. Like, well, what the fuck is going on?
Wow.
So they offered me another guy, and my agency looked at that guy and was just like, nah, we ain't gonna take that fight. And I'm just like, what's going on? They're like, nah, because it'll make more sense if you fought that guy. It was the guy that fought Joaquin Buckley and went viral. That one knockout.
Impicasogny?
Yeah, however you say that guy's name.
Impicasogny. He's a beast, so that's not a good short notice fight.
Yeah, that's what they told me. So it was just like, all right, well, I guess I won't take that fight then. They said it'd be better if that was a short notice fight in the UFC, then that would be a fight we would take. You know what I'm saying? So I just was like, well, I guess we'll take the smart approach and not take it. Any other time, I'd have been like, forget that. It don't matter. But trying to be calculated in a sense. And yeah, so.
Well, hey, man, Impa is a great fighter. I've talked to him a few times, and he got rocked by Joaquin Buckley with that crazy, like, karate-style spinning catch kick, whatever you want to call it. I think that would be a great fight between you two, but short notice, a guy with like that kind of experience, you might bode better with a full camp really prepping. And even if it is short notice, like you said, stepping up on a higher stage rather than CFFC, maybe getting that UFC spotlight. But regardless, dude, sorry to hear, man, that's some BS, but it has to make you maybe feel a little bit good that people are straight up dodging you. Cause that's what it sounds like from my perspective, man. Sounds like these mofos don't want to fight you.
I mean, if they don't, it is what it is. If they do, it is what it is. But at the same time, I don't want to discredit nobody's amount of fear in the situation, because I ain't gonna lie, it'd be times I'd be scared too. But at the sense, I'm not gonna be like, oh no, I'm so scared I don't want to fight that guy. Forget that. Nah, you human, you bleed just like me. So we just gonna find out who's gonna bleed and who's gonna get hurt a lot more than the next.
And we'll talk a little bit about that mentality of yours in a few minutes here when I ask another question dating back a few months to your Contender Series appearance. But until then, like I said, Dylan O'Sullivan was supposed to be your opponent. He was 5-0. You were going to give him his first career loss. Are you interested in rescheduling that fight at all? Are there any plans in the works for your next fight? Like, what's your status, so to speak, in CFFC with fight news?
I mean, if he wants to fight again, I'll be welcome to it, but I'm not going to just chase the guy like, hey, man, please fight me. Like, no, that's not my style. You know what I mean? And the way I look at it, my agency told me I'm the champ, so I'm not just gonna bend over backwards just to fight anybody that they give me. It has to make sense with my coach, my agency, and myself. You know what I'm saying? But we don't have anything in the works right now. I asked my agency if they had anything lined up or would have anything lined up, and they told me they'll get back with me. So I'm just waiting on them to give me the word, and I'm just staying ready and prepared for when the next call comes. Even if it's a short notice thing, like, hey, like, let me know, let me get in there.
Yeah, and I
Excuse
mean,
me.
no, you're good. And like your agency's saying, it is your belt, dude. They got to come to you. You don't got to come to them. So you call the shots, man. And I must say, the camp looks like it paid off. I'm just looking at your right bicep, dude. You are looking freaking shredded, bro. Like that vein say boom, 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 boom. So
Man, look, I've been really hitting it this time, like a lot more strength and conditioning, a lot more running, a lot more just mental training more than anything. Cause man, that last fight, you've seen me before, and now a lot of people have seen me get down. And man, I just need to get that image out of my head and everybody else's head that guy. I don't know who the fuck that was. I really don't know.
So let's talk about that real quick, because I mean it's obviously something I was going to ask you about. The last time we talked was a couple of days before your Contender Series appearance, where you fought everybody's new favorite hype boy, Bo Nickal. The fight didn't go your way. He submitted you in the first round, but dude, me and me and my wife were watching on the couch. We get very invested in the fighters we interview, because I love you guys. You guys are like friends across the screen, right? So we're rooting for you hard. Dude, I'll ask you about how the fight went. Like when I'm done saying this, I want your opinion and I want you to kind of break it down for me. But you were so freaking close to making him pay. Like I was jumping up and down, like wanting you to get out of that and be on top of him in full guard, because he's never seen that before. So break it down for me, Don. How'd that fight go? I'm sorry it didn't go your way.
Nah, you good. Shit happens, whenever you get in your mind at the last second of doubt and just takes over. And at that point, whenever I feinted the kick, I'm like, okay. Then I missed my kick. I'm like, oh shit. Then all the doubt just took over my whole little brain. And then the one thought that was so vividly heard in my mind, I cannot make this up, bro. Last longer than a minute. I have no the fuck idea why that even came in my head. And after that, it was a conversation of Donovan, throw, teep kick, punch him, something, throw, do something. And right before I had a chance to react, he changed levels so fast, I blinked. And when I opened my eyes, he wasn't even there no more, because he did it like right below. Like you know what I'm saying? Literally disappeared. And right when he did, bam, I'm like, oh shit, he didn't hit me. And now I'm like, all right, I got to get back up. So I'm getting up. I put my right arm underneath him, and I go to roll to the left. I'm like, okay, that's not working. So I roll to the right, and immediately when I rolled to the right, acknowledging that my right arm was underneath him, I'm like, why didn't I not go out the fucking back door? And we would have been on the ground. It'd have been good. I literally rolled into that triangle. Like whenever I rolled, I instantly knew, like, oh shit, triangle, what the hell? And then I looked at my arm. He had my arm. He had his legs.
Yeah.
And then I went for my escape, but I went the wrong way. And then he grabbed my leg. And then they told me, let go of the cage. I didn't even realize I had the cage. I was just trying to get off of him, get him off of me as best as I could. And then I started to feel everything started to go black. And I'm like, forget it. I went on ahead and tapped. And I was just like, what the fuck?
Damn, man.
Please, like, it was my hair, like, please tell me that was longer than a minute. Like, please tell me that was 52 seconds.
Was that longer? 52? 52?
52 seconds. Oh, bro. 52 seconds. 52. Bro, I've been fighting for 4 years, okay? Never got finished in my pro career or amateur. Never got beat in that way or that fast.
Yeah.
And that just sent me through a whole, like, I wasn't even sad. I was just more discouraged and pissed. Like how the fuck? And confused. Like, why?
Yeah.
How? And I apologize for cussing so much. I'm just like, how? What? Like, literally, what happened? Please tell me what just happened. I didn't even, when he hit me, I didn't even feel my lights get shut out. I was just like, oh. But when he pushed me, I was just like, wait a minute, I'm going down. What the hell's going on? And shit, next thing I know, I'm trying to scramble to get up, and he done sink that lock in. And he did the same move on me that I won my belt from.
Yeah, right. Exactly. You hit that in the last couple minutes of your fight. So let me what's up, Poochie?
With my move, like, what kind of shit is that?
So let me ask you, do you think the result of the fight was more, because I know you had a lot of pressure on you and dude, like a lot of hate coming your way, a lot of like naysayers in your ears all week. Do you think the fight result was more because of you, like you just said, almost like doubting yourself in the octagon? Or is Bo Nickal really that good and that talented?
Bro, I ain't gonna lie to you. Before, whenever all right, so, got the announcement. I had a meeting with my coaches. They was all like, this guy's a top-notch wrestler, blah, blah, blah. And in the beginning, I'm like, man, I don't give a fuck about none of that stuff. Like,
Right.
that
That's
don't
what you
phase
said in our
me.
interview. You're like, I can wrestle.
You know what I mean? I was cool with that. But then the guys that I had come down, my wrestling coach's kid, Kevin Crutchman. Yeah, Kevin. Yeah, that's his name. Kevin. No, his name is Kyle, my bad. From Bellator, uh, we did some work and stuff like that, and him and another guy, Jacoby, uh, we wrestling and stuff, and then they gave me like, I don't know, like my wrestling coach told them to like basically go all the way in on me, go 100%. You know what I'm saying? And then
Sure.
whenever I went to OBU and trained with those guys, I didn't know what was going to happen. They just went in on me. I was like, oh shit, like what the hell's really going on? But they didn't like best me to a point where I was so overwhelmed, like, damn, that sucked. I was
Yeah.
just like, it sucked, but I didn't get submitted and I didn't get too overrun. But at the same time, it put it in my mind like, damn, if that dude is that fucking good, like, I'm in trouble. I ain't even gonna lie.
Yeah.
But considering how the training went, because it was basically me doing a round robin, if you're familiar with the
Sure.
term.
Yeah. Just going back and
So,
forth.
yeah, it was just me in the middle and them two just switching out along with everybody else.
And you're
So
talking
in my
Dustin
mind,
Jacoby from the UFC?
Jacoby Smith, he's
Oh, Jacoby Smith. Okay.
yeah,
I thought you meant
Jacoby
Dustin
Smith.
Jacoby. I'm like, dude, that's crazy.
Look, I'd have been cool with that too.
Sure.
Look. But yeah,
Round robin going back and forth.
yeah, round robin. And in the round robin, you would think in your head, like, damn, I lasted all 5 rounds with each guy, a fresh guy. But at the same time, it's like, dang, I could be that fresh and still get overran like that. I don't know. And then it was an emotional period. And I ain't gonna lie, I got a little teary-eyed about it. Like, I don't know if this is supposed to be for me. Like, why is this happening so fast? Like, am I supposed to be doing this? I didn't really feel like it was gonna be real to me until we weighed in, and I'm just like, oh shit, we definitely on the scale. Like it's gonna happen tomorrow.
Yeah.
I could sleep. Like I could not sleep for nothing. Like the day that I got there, I didn't sleep all night.
Wow.
The day of weigh-ins, I woke up, I went to bed like maybe 11 or 12 or something like that. And I had NyQuil to put me down. Man, I woke up at 3 o'clock in the damn morning. Like, what the hell? And the weigh-in wasn't until 9 o'clock. So I was literally up for 6 whole hours, not eating, not drinking, not doing nothing, waiting to weigh in. Like, all high anxiety, stressed out, and all this stuff. And weigh in, I'm like, all right, cool. I get my food. I didn't have no acid reflux problems. I took my medicine like I was supposed to. Man, then got there. I was like, okay. And they told me the first thing they told me whenever we stopped. All right, everybody get off the bus besides you. Was like, look, I got scared immediately. I'm like, what did I do? I didn't do nothing. They were like, nah, we just doing a little hype up thing so the camera crew can zoom in on you and the introduction and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, y'all had me all the way stressed out. Like I'm already, you know what I'm saying? You got a high amount of anxiety going in, and that just made it worse. So I started to calm down. Then I get there, take the piss test. Man, I swear, it felt like I was in probation all over again. Cause why the dude, I'm literally having to pee, and the dude's like literally next to me like this.
Ooh, wow, that's
Like, bro, I'm
horrifying.
like, what the fuck? I couldn't concentrate. I was like,
Oh, I couldn't pee like that, dude. No way.
and then he walked away, and then I gave a stream. Then he came back, I stopped. It was just an ongoing thing of him going back and forth with me. So I try to make light of the situation by joking about it, because that's what I do whenever I'm a little stressed. So I walk out and I notice lotion on the bathroom counter. So I'm just like, oh, so this is what you're doing. You just around here looking at PPs, watching people pee, and then you got lotion up in here. So what you doing with the lotion? Just talking shit. And I'm just like trying to cool myself out. I'm like, oh my God. So I get in the back room. They put me by myself along with my coaches, and I'm used to being around the other people and everything. They got me in the room by myself. Coach is telling me, get your ass off Facebook, get off your phone, stay in the zone. I'm like, all right, I usually be on my phone, taking my mind off of that, so I won't even think about it until I get my hands wrapped. I'm just trying to relax as best way I could, have my eyes closed, hoodie over my head, music playing, all the most relaxing tracks I could think of. And first fight happens. The guy gets knocked out. I'm like, oh shit. Like it's getting real now. So I'm starting to warm up and everything. I'm warming up. I was like, so I started breathing all hard. I'm like, what the hell is this? Like I'm throwing. I'm like, why am I feeling like I'm tired? And then my coach was like, that's just the nerves. That's just the stress. Just shake it off a little bit more. So I'm throwing more and more and more. I'm like, okay. Starting to breathe. I'm like, all right. Then I get the pacing. I'm like, all right. Then the third fight happens, and then there's more blood. I think that was the third or fourth fight.
One of them was real bloody.
Yeah, that fight got real bloody. So I'm just like preparing myself for the worst. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Then they come get me. I'm just like, all right, last fight. So they come get me. I make that walk through the hallway to get to the double doors to walk out. Like, all right, it's time. I'm trying to relax, cool out. I'm like, okay, calm down, calm down. So I look at the double doors and I'm like, oh, okay, I can make me a cool little entrance, right? So I open the doors. I'm like, yeah, y'all see me, y'all see this, you know what I'm saying? And then I was like, okay, just cool out, cool out. Got in the cage, move doggy. I got in the cage, look around. I'm like, all right, usual scene, blood, sweat, whatever. I step in my corner, and then I feel a wet spot. That wet spot just sent my anxiety through the roof. I don't know what the hell. Like, why is this wet spot? What the hell's going on? I might slip. Oh, what the fuck? I was like, no, stop thinking about that wet spot. What the hell are you thinking about? Chill out, chill out. Okay. Then he walk out. I look at him. This is what I do. I look at him until he walk in. I'm like, all right, you know what I'm saying? And then I was thinking about doing my entrance, you know, my and then And I'm like, nah, Dana ain't trying to see that shit. Like, grow up. Like, forget all that. We ain't here to be childish. And oh, my anxiety. I'm telling you, it was
A
just
lot.
all bad.
Yeah.
So then I'm thinking he gonna announce our names, bring us to the middle, and all this other stuff. Because I was watching other Contender Series fights, trying to see exactly how this was all gonna play out. They ain't do no music, they ain't do no introduction, they ain't do no bring us to the middle. So I'm just trying to mentally prepare myself to go in that way. And then when he asked, "Fighter, you ready? Fighter, you ready?" I was ready, but I didn't know if I was, to be honest with you. So
Damn,
I'm like, all
man.
right, come on. So I'm throwing my fakes and throwing, and the next thing I know, 52 seconds later, it's all over.
Yeah,
And they
man.
put me on medical suspension for 45 days.
Really?
I don't even know what I did. I didn't get
Wow.
knocked out or nothing was hurt. I was fine, coherent, capable of answering all questions that needed to be answered. Mm-hmm.
Weird, man.
Then, yeah, that's what I said. So I seen people sitting there in the lobby, and they just rushed me on out of there. Like, all right, go ahead and take the van to the place and go ahead and go. Uh, get to the hotel room, think about it, think about it, think about it. Next day rolls around. Man, they didn't even give me no damn shuttle to get back to the hotel room. They gave us
Damn.
a shuttle to get there, but how are we gonna get back home?
Wow, that's
So my
whack.
coach, he had to buy an Uber, and I paid him back for that just to get us to the airport on time.
Do better, UFC. That's weak.
Bro, like
That's weak.
I'm not here to be slandering nobody's businesses or anything like that, but that was
Still, I
like,
mean,
wait a minute, that was just,
that's weird, man. That's not cool.
you know what I mean? So,
But yeah,
but
man, sorry to hear you had such like a stressful freaking experience, so anxiety filled. I was still super honored to have interviewed you and then watch you on my couch on Contender Series, man. It was a great feeling for me, and I think you should be proud of yourself if you're not, because dude, that's a hell of a thing to say that you actually fought on Contender Series. It's a hell of a thing to say that you were the Cage Fury middleweight champion of the world. You are accomplishing great things, Don Don. I'll say this, and I'm not supposed to, but fuck the haters, man. You're awesome. You're the highlight reel. And I love that you give me the time, and I love you as a fighter. So thank you, man. I do have one more question for you before we get out of here. And it's just kind of piggybacking off of your Contender Series experience and even you being a Cage Fury champion. What's next for your career, man? Like, did this Contender Series loss change anything? Or do you still have the same goals? You still want to fight to the top? Do you still want to be in the UFC? How did this like affect your headspace and your overall career goals?
only thing it changed was my mind state of never giving in to doubt and the naysayers ever again, because I know what I'm capable of doing, and I know what I have been capable of been doing for the past 4 years that I've been doing this, and 2 years that I've been professional. And for me to let other people and myself get so consumed with doubt, that was just a kick in the head. Like, come on, man, you know you better than that. I ain't never let that ever get to my brain ever. But the one time that I did, I knew that it could happen to the best of us. But at the same time, it's made me so much of a better fighter and person that I knew I'm capable of making it there, because keep in mind, I've only been professional for 2 years. And I made it to Contender Series. And I'm not trying to toot my own horn or anything, but
Toot
it
it,
was a
bro.
memory.
Toot it.
He said, toot that mother. But whenever I made this step to being professional, I didn't think it was going to happen that dang fast. 2 years, like 2 years. I looked at a memory that I had on Facebook of me starting out my first pro fight at AKA in Louisiana. Man, even that fight, I was in the back. I had acid reflux problems. I cried, like, oh my God, like, oh no, I just want to do so well. Oh my God. And I went out there and I did my thing. ignoring the bull crap. And the one time I didn't ignore the bull crap, I seen what happened, and I'll never let that slide again. And I will definitely be trying to get back to the UFC so I can get my revenge. I need that. Dude gotta see me again. Forget that. I ain't gonna just chase him all over the place. But man, I get on that roster and they offer me that fight, I am not turning it down. I don't care what kind of injury I got in fighting camp or whatever. I will work through that just to get my revenge back. Cause bro, ain't no way. Ain't no way. You can't. I'm not letting you hold that over me. And for you, and to me, no, a person really put it in perspective. It was like, bro, he had to beat you to prove that he was UFC worthy. And it's just like, you know what? After he did beat me, he got so much clout. So it just made me think like, damn, I am someone to be reckoned with and, you know, be cautious with in any aspect of that. So it's just like, okay, just stay dangerous. It just told me to get more dangerous, be more of a threat, more than I ever have been. And I just can't wait to showcase it the next time and every time after that, man.
Well, hey,
And I
man.
thank you so much for having me and interviewing me, bro.
Of course,
Like,
bro.
one love, real life shit, bro. I really appreciate you because a lot of people, even the people that I did interviews with, they didn't do no follow-ups with me. You the only one that did a follow-up. So that's
Damn,
what
man.
makes you more appreciated in my book. I ain't tripping about that. You know what I'm saying? This is what it is because some people, they'll either ride with you when you're doing good or ride with you when you ain't doing good. And you one of those people that I could depend on even on the bad side. And you gonna come with me on the good days too. So
Yes, sir.
and
I'm
look,
on
and
that.
whenever I do make it, you're gonna be the one I call to do these interviews. So I don't
Yes,
need no
sir.
Ariel Hawani or nobody know none of that. They
Well,
don't know me
bro,
like that.
if Hawani reaches out to you, please take that interview.
He said
Don't be like, nah, Ariel. Only my man Jake Noecker. Get on that show.